For over 50 years, people have come to see the Sharks play. Talent, skill, speed, intelligence, elite-level athleticism. That's not these guys. Biased, one-eyed, opinionated. More often wrong than right. They make up for their complete lack of talent with pure dribble, gibberish, and enthusiasm. This is the E.T. Stand Podcast. Sing the song now, baby. The Cronulla Sharks, 22, have beaten the Broncos, 12. Have they done it in an asterisk match? Or was it Royce Hunt inspired in absolute Sharks magic? Joining me on the debrief is Scott Latino. Happy 100th Ronnie today as well. What a great match. Lads, how you feeling about that one?
Mate, pretty pumped. I was a bit worried there in that first half. We were starting to let a lot of offloads happen. And yeah, they were sneaking around us and crossing. But didn't we just come out and just blow them out of the park in that second stanza? Royce Hunt, what a machine. What a machine. He's playing for a contract. I wouldn't mind swapping him with Jack Williams, to be honest, after tonight's efforts. But yeah, what a beast.
For a contract stuff. This is the ET Stand, the Cronulla Sharks fans podcast that's Let's It Talking to the Football. If you're joining us for the first time ever, please do hit the subscribe button to get notified of all our videos. And if you are enjoying the show, please do also hit the like button. We're live on Facebook and YouTube and available on download on Spotify a little bit later for those Sharks fans. Please do get involved in the comments. I've already got a couple of comments coming through. Peter is coming through saying up, up, up. Definitely agree with you on that front, Peter. And then Tomo has come through saying Royce coming on changed things. Thought we dug deep. Yes, we did indeed. Yeah, what a terrific match. Yeah, that 20 minutes after half time, goodness, it was just absolutely brilliant, wasn't it? I'm just going to put the if anyone wants to join the show, you can also just do so by clicking on that link in the comments. I'll show that one there, that link there, right there. If you want to click on that link, you can join the show before we get into the rundown. Nathan, I'll say g'day to you, saying go the Sharks.
Hey, Nathan.
G'day, Nathan. Yeah, what a terrific match. Oh, what can you say? There's a bit to unpack in that, Lats, isn't there? Look, for those, Lats and I were going to do a debrief after the Origin. And we did a mini debrief whilst we were driving in the cars. And it was just 20 minutes of frustration and anger. And, oh, goodness, this is looking so bad. And so for us to come out in that scenario, I think was pretty good. So
yeah, it was awesome.
What else do we make of that match as we just stop the song?
Mate, I thought the back five were brilliant. All bar Kennedy running over 150 metres. Plenty of work there. I thought Iro was really good tonight, especially in that second half. Just got on with it, composed ourselves and played that patient game and grounded out and turned the game and came up trumps. It was brilliant.
The back five. Yeah, Meninga called out the back five in the post match. Yeah, he said it was 21 carries for the back five, which is...
I think Sione had something like 10 tackle breaks. He was a beast.
Sione just responded to being lower on the tiers, I think.
That's the motivation he needed.
I think so. All right, well, we're calling this the Franco Files in the absence of the spiritual leader of the debrief. We'll go through what we call the Franco Files and kind of recap the match. So the Sharks certainly started off with a whole bunch of intent. That first couple of minutes. And I thought, look, we talked about that a little bit. I definitely was calling for it, for Rudolph to start over Tommy. And I think
he was strong. He was strong in these some big carries. He was bowling blokes. Yeah.
Particularly, I thought he was particularly good. Here we go. Here's Peter Bissett. We weren't supporting the ball carrier in the first half. Royce came on, and from the first tackle in the second half, we were at different intensity. Yeah, we're going to talk about Royce Hunt in a second. I think that's definitely right. Certainly at the start, I thought Brayley was running with a bit of intent. We had that early run from dummy half. And then I actually think that penalty that went against us with Ramian early. I thought that was a bit unlucky, actually, and was a bit of a early turning point, and just let them.
That was soft.
Trying to let them get in the game, and then they had the couple of offloads. They're a little bit fortunate, which was just, we know that we're not so good on. There was a funny moment where Tristan Saylor was going to score, but then chose not to score in what we call the Chris Kelly move. I was like, don't score because you're going to give it away. And then, so anyway, and then look, there was that bad. I've always got this fear about Kennedy's one-on-one defense. Like, he's very good in attack, but when the other teams go through, Kennedy tends to not.
He's been pretty good this year, though. You got to give him that. He's been better this year.
He still misses those.
And that effort down the sideline for that when Mariner got that intercept, that was brilliant.
One. That was
big efforts from him and Trindle there.
As well, when is someone called held?
Yeah, Jordan Ricky there. Yeah. He had a hold of him for ages. Momentum had stopped, and then he gets that offload. They were two very fortunate tries for the Broncos, both of those. Yeah. One off a ricochet kick and
And look, I'm not as good at taking the notes, so I don't even bother writing down who scored from. Oh no, Pat Carrigan who scored from there.
Yeah, from a long range, Billy Walters effort. Good run by Katoni Staggs.
Yeah,
quick play the ball.
Good, isn't he? All right, a couple more comments coming in. G'day, Joanna. Are we still frauds? No,
we never were. What are you talking about?
I did notice that the commentators were more positive about the Sharks this week too. There was no Yvonne Sampson asterisk.
No asterisks.
Yeah. And then Tomo's come in with, they just kept in it during the first half, nothing special. Well, that's the kind of thing, is that if the Sharks can stay in those matches, then they tend to bring on Royce and Jack Williams. And then
there's some crazy stat that Dan Grenane spoke to in regards to something. Our average points for in first half, so 30, and our average points for in the second half, so over 100, 120 or 105 or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah. All right. So it was the Broncos 6, the Sharks 0. Then you saw a good bunch of play. Pretty much. Look, I'm going to put this pretty much down to the Talakai moves, just some offloads and some barnstorming runs through tags, through Katoni Staggs. And then Talakai got a pretty quick play the ball. And then Trindle almost got caught on the fifth tackle, but managed to get an offload to McInnes. And then Kennedy had some very good soft hands before getting it back to Talakai, who again breezed past Staggs in the lead up. That's why Sifa Talakai starts.
How good is it seeing him attacking over on that left edge again?
Oh, it's just
so good. But not only that, it puts the fear in. Like, you've got him bearing down on you when you're trying to take a bomb. It puts the fear in. Put Saylor off his game a couple of times there. So,
Saylor
I wouldn't want him steamrolling at me. Yeah.
Saylor definitely had a shocker. So then, the Sharks were down 6-4 with Trindle having a kick, which can only be described as Greg Florimo, North Sydney-esque of maybe the worst conversion we've ever seen. Tomo's come through with another point. It was such a good time to strike against the Broncos at times. They were flat. Glad to see the boys stuck it in. Talakai was enormous along with Toby Rudolph. I do agree with that. And the Broncos were just hot and cold, weren't they? And they looked just a bit underdone. So maybe
they arm wrestled it again in that second 20. Arm wrestled it back into their favour, but we never let him in that second half. We just never let him have a sniff.
And then I can't remember what happened with the Broncos scoring the third try, but I've just got in my notes that it was somewhat fortunate. What actually happened?
Yeah, that was a kick put in, a quick, pretty sort of low, quick kick. Hit Trindle, tries to take it, ricochets, and I think it was Smoothie.
Yeah, that was fortunate.
Smoothie picks it up and boom, straight over.
That was fortunate for them.
So we're caught on the back foot, and it was a fluky try.
So then it was 12-4 at halftime. And you're kind of just thinking, this is not going to look so good for the Sharks. All the guys from the ET stand who predicted the Sharks would lose are going to be right. And then Royce Hunt happens.
Boom.
Oh, he's basically
Boom.
just in everything, that guy.
Mate, he looked like Fafita tonight. Fafita
he was like
of the glory
fire.
days. He was a monster.
So there was one or two big hit ups from Royce Hunt before there was the kick that had the error off it. And then it was just straight a play to Sione Katoa that beats Selwyn Cobbo 1-on-1, carries Ezra Mann to the try line. And then Trindle converts the kick, and then it's Sharks 10, Broncos 12. And you're like, all right, cool. We might be on here.
Nice little ankle breaker from the Tongan fisherman there. Catches Cobbo napping and bang.
Well, yeah, that's quite a good move from Katoa. All right, so nice Sharks are down by 2 points. Sharks 10, Broncos 12. Then we see another play of two big hit-ups from Royce Hunt again and the defense. And then also we saw some really good Tommy impact. And then Kale Liro gets a forced error on Stags. Royce Hunt with the barnstorming run. Quick play, the ball spreads. The really good spread actually from Brayley. Really fast, because I remember we called that out last week how far Mitchell Moses was passing it. Trindle takes the line on and just scores. And you can see that Trindle
nice little show and go.
Yeah, Trindle had a whole bunch of confidence then as well. And yes, then it was been liking to, well, James Hooper called it very Fafita-esque. Well, he didn't quite get that try Fafita-esque, but he was very close, that kind of try in the middle. Yeah, James Hooper, not Hopper, Tomo. So Sharks are up 16-12. Then another, this is my notes, just seem to be all Royce Hunt. Basically, Royce Hunt came on and we just won the game. I thought Jack Williams was also quite good. So then Royce Hunt comes on another massive run, and then they put the kick in. And so by this time, the pressure on Tristan Saylor, you can see that is clearly getting to him. And then Ero had some good lead-up work. And then it lands, because Ero was pressuring Tristan Saylor really well. And then it lands to who we want. CSF Italikai, soft hands. And then who does he throw it to for that try? I'm just trying to remember at the end. He throws it to Brayley for that try. And then the Sharks go 22-12 up with 20 minutes to go. And you're thinking, all right, is this going to be a Broncos are going to come back here? Maybe not. But yeah, I just thought the kick pressure on Tristan Saylor was intense.
Yeah.
And then there were a few moments towards the end where you're kind of getting a little bit worried. Trindle threw that intercept. But then, boy, didn't he work hard to chase after that. And then Kennedy bundles him in the touch. Which I thought was the key moment.
If he doesn't make that ankle tap, he probably would have scored. It just slowed him up enough for Kennedy to hit him sideways and push him in the touch.
I think that's right. And then I didn't really think they were coming back for us. I was going to throw it in the chat for regulars of people who know me and know the ET Stand debrief. I tend to have this saying, which is sing the song now early when I think the Sharks are going to win and we're not going to lose it from here. And so I said that with about 5 minutes out. I was pretty confident. So
very similar to streak talk.
Well, I think we're on a streak now, actually. So I think we're going to win 5 or 6 matches in a row now. That's what I'm going to call it.
Dan Ganane was talking about the losing streak, and it just showed you don't talk about streaks.
Yeah. All right, and then right at the end, there was a good bunch of play from Iro and Ronaldo that forced that turnover. And then there was a bit of sting in that match at the end too, lads. What do you make of that? With
Stags on top of Sione there, and even with Ronnie was giving it to Mariner all night. It was good to see a fired up Ronnie again. A lot of passion there, and look, it was a tough trip to go up there and win without Nico. I know they were without Walsh, but I thought
and Adam
the
Reynolds.
halves. Yep, and Adam Reynolds. But I thought our halves were good. I thought both of them were kicking well. Maybe not goal kicking. I thought Atkinson might have done a better job than Trindle, but there was one kick that went astray.
Maybe Rudolph would have done better with that first kick than bloody Trindle.
Probably would have. But there was one kick there from Atkinson that nearly went out on the full, but didn't, luckily. I thought they nice high bombs gave our chasers plenty of time to put pressure on, and we did well.
Yeah, Jake Matuzzi, he's come through with a similar comment supporting you there, lads. We dominated field position, lads, off the back of a disciplined performance and great kicking game from our halves. I think it was well disciplined, Jakey. So, yes, and then, g'day to you, Harley. Great game.
On ya, Harley.
Harley, you absolute legend. So, confirming, Harley, you are now top of the ET stand tipping comp without even declaring your registration or interest in going in it, because you always tip the Shark, I believe.
Honorary member.
Harley, you absolute legend. All right, well, look, we're there's a few. Does this match answer a few questions for us, Lats? So, and we have a few ongoing questions. So, first one is, well, now we've seen Talakai play for a lot longer.
Yep.
Where does Sifa Talakai now fit into this Sharks team moving forward?
I like him. I like him starting in the second row. I thought, but look, when Teague Wilton's fit, where do you put Teague? He alluded in his interview at the end of the match that he's happy to go where he's happy to play off the bench. He's just happy to come on and do his job for the team and get the W. I want to see him on that field for 80 minutes. He's just immense. He's a beast. He doesn't stop trying, and he's got the skill. We've got to get him more field time. At the moment,
how can you not?
It has to be pushing Iro out, I think, at the moment, which I don't like to say. But how else do you do it? He
was good. Like, he just can't have a player that good and not have him on the field.
100%. And I love Iro. Don't get me wrong. I thought Iro was great, but Talakai is just that much better.
Jake's come through. Talakai is a cheat code. Love to see his meters after contact. Guys, get it in the comments. Can someone tell us where you guys think we should be playing Talakai now? Is he in fatigue? Is he in for Iro? Is he back to the bench?
Talakai had, just to answer Jake's question, he had 49 post-contact meters.
Which is a lot.
That's a lot.
And just
Ronnie had, Iro had 70. And, our back, sort of, Iro, Ramian, Mulatalo, they all had quite a lot. They were at 58, 70, and 64. So, Sione.
And Jake, he's supporting you, saying that's immense. It's tough to say, isn't it? Like, he's good, Teague Wilton.
Yeah.
But he's not Talakai good.
Yeah, I know.
He's not Talakai good. But he's good.
He's good, Iro, but he's not Teague. You can't leave Teague Wilton out. Because, you know what I mean? Like, I think he's got to be in the centre position. I think it's our only answer. Look, Teague's probably going to be out for a while with an AC joint.
He is going to be out for a while, so we'll see how that plays out. I think New South Wales could certainly use with Sifa Talakai, actually. I think he he's just for the New South Wales team, I think he's a good bench player because he can cover that centre position.
Huge.
And so then you have a centre that can cover wing and fullback, and then you've just got guys you can move around. Now, Peter, we're going to get to that question. I'm going to pose your question in a minute, Peter. That is a good question. All right. So I don't think we've established. I think we're just still rolling along with this damn Talakai problem. It's just going to be an ongoing thing. But what a great problem to have. Next question I had was, it was posed during the week. Should we be starting Toby Rudolph, and is it time for Tommy to go back to the bench? And I think that question has been answered.
Yep.
So I thought Toby was really strong off the start. There was a comment earlier. Someone said in our chat that they thought we just kind of stayed in it. And I think by having Toby on, I just think that was better. And then just a better impact from Tommy. Lats, where do you sit on that one? Yeah,
I totally agree. I thought Tommy had much more impact. And now having Talakai start, having that impact from Hazelton is a great thing. And I also thought Tapua was quite good coming off the bench there. But I like it. I like Hazelton coming off that. He was just getting found out a bit in defence there those last couple of weeks. And I thought Rudolph was really strong, putting in some big runs, great in defence. He's a good competitor. And he was also good in that sort of last 10 minutes he was on too, Rudolph. So I like that, the way he was played.
Well, it's just not asking too much of Tommy, is it?
No, that's right.
So it means they were asking.
Well, it's just creating impact.
Yeah, I thought that. I thought Jack Williams was awesome. Like, they're basically the bench is just quite solid, really, and so it just means that one of those can stand up. And Royce Hunt was so good; it was difficult for the others to really be able to make so much noise because he was just so good.
I thought Jack Williams was good. Oh, his ball handling, though, lets him down. He makes some silly errors. Although he did that second one that he dropped, he made up for it straight away and got the ball back for us not long after.
Jakey's come through. Jack Williams is the best reserve grader playing first grade. All right, well, I guess we know
Jake,
who you like,
he's one of Jake's favourites, Jack Williams.
All right. And then we've got
he'd be up the top of Jake's tiers.
Chris Richardson's come through with Ira was too strong defensively. Talakai has to stay on the bench and play the 20 minutes maximum. Don't know if I agree with that, Chris. And then Chris Willie says Williams is solid, a few mistakes, but he kept turning up for the hit-ups. That is definitely true. All right. The next question is Trindle versus Atkinson. Peter has put it through here. Braden has to be picked over Atkinson now when Hines is in. Tomo has come out and agreed on that, which I think is probably right. Well, that's what. I'm going to cough for a second whilst you tell us the answer.
Right, mate. I think Peter's right there. I think he's blowing the cobwebs off Trindle, and he's really starting to find his feet back in the team again. He directed beautifully tonight, and I think he can just allow Hines to float around and do his thing, and we're safe as houses there. Unmute yourself, mate.
Yeah, well, maybe we should give some of the. So anyone who watches this, Jake, SJD, you guys should have a mute button for me, so you can just turn me off, which would be pretty good. So yeah, Jake has come through saying Tricky was good, but Atco was very slippery. So that is the problem,
he had some good runs, didn't he?
Atkinson is a better running player. Look, these are good selection headaches.
In saying that, Tricky can run the ball quite well. He's been scoring tries when he's been running the ball. So,
well, he got that one tonight off the Royce pass hit up, and I think
he scored 2 against North Queensland a few weeks back as well. So, or just before he's
looking bad.
Yeah.
All right, Tomo has just come through here and said Fitzy said in the presser that Braden is still not up to his best. Yeah, that probably sounds. That right. Tomo, if you saw anything else from the press conference, do possibly get that in the comments for us so we can talk to that too. I think that's right. Braden is not up to his best. Certainly his goal kicking is not. I remember it being neck and neck between Trindle and Nico on goal kicking, but certainly you would take Trindle now. And SJD is a little bit late to the party with his if Talakai remains in beast mode, expect Teague to be coming off the bench for the rest of the year.
I like it.
Maybe.
I'm okay with that.
Maybe.
I'm okay with that.
And then Chris has come through and said Hines is back next week. And shout out to you, Mr. Chris Kelly, for being the only one of us ET Stand panel podcast people to pick the Sharks. Just always having faith. Where do I land? Look, I switched teams from Atkinson to Trindle during the week. I think Trindle actually is the first choice, or the second choice half, I guess, behind Nico Hines. I might have also suggested, well, actually, would we have been better off not having Nico at all and having that money spread somewhere else and having having Atkinson and Trindle? But I doubt it. No, we love Nico. He's such a handsome man. All right.
Just what he does for us off the field in regards to marketing, and that is a win for our club.
And yeah, fair enough. Como said, sorry, guys, can't remember much else. Was listening to you lunatics and did not negotiate the volume controls. Well, that's good. If any of you lunatics in the chat want to get in and actually have your own say and chat to us about what you thought, do click on that link and we'll add you to the show as we keep going through these questions. And yeah, Jakey, I'm sure. So, Jakey, you went to the match.
Yeah, I think Jake and Richo went.
Yeah, nice. I noticed that post-match, the Sharks players were taking a leaf out of your Penrith Panthers book. Lats,
they were, mate. They were getting amongst the crowd.
They must watch your podcast.
Mate, I'll tell you what, it's like you with your tears. The players perform when they think they're dropping tears, and when the man of the people speaks, they listen.
The players who were bottom of the tiers actually did respond. Sione Katoa was good.
I'm telling you, Fitzy uses in the review session. It's SJD. He's getting in there.
SJD is just watching stuff. All right. Another one. So for anyone else who's been a regular watcher of this show, they would know that Lats is also big on don't offer player contracts straight away because you can get them to fire up and play well. So literally, Lats has called it with Royce Hunt having an absolute blinder today. Lats, what's your commentary on that? Or are you just patting yourself on the back and saying, yeah, I'm a legend?
Oh, mate. No, look, mate, he had to his credit, he had a blinder in our loss last week as well. So he was probably one of the standouts. Yeah, he's looking for a contract. Hopefully he extends with us. I don't know how much money there is. They want to extend quite a few players, I think, still. So watch this space. But it would be sad to see him go. It would definitely be sad to see him go because he's really putting in.
Yeah, I think the Sharks should actually re-sign Royce Hunt. I think he was. So yeah, you can't re-sign everyone, but maybe we can keep them somehow. I don't know. Just ask Nico to take $100,000 left this year and pay him more next year.
Shuffle it around
or something like that. All right, Jakey's given us the call out that he did say that the players were awesome at the post match, and his kids got pics with all the players. Really happy with that. Most notably, Katoa and Hunt. Yeah, they were the ones hanging around. I think Talakai was walking around with no shirt on. Chris has said there's a whole bunch of Sharks fans taking over Suncorp Stadium. Tomo, there are a lot of faithful Brizzy Sharks fans up there. I was going to actually try and get up to the match, but couldn't do that. But yeah, be nice to keep that whole team, I guess. To the point on the Royce contract, Tomo's come through with a comment with AFB coming in, someone needs to go, but who? Yeah, I guess it is Royce Hunt. Well, I guess it's Dale Finucane, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know how much there is there left of it because he was pretty front loaded on his contract, so the back end was pretty trim. So I don't know how much left they've got left there in the chest, but I'd love to see him stay.
Sharks, Dino, I know you. I'm going to actually next time I'll text Dino tomorrow and say sign Royce Hunt.
And we'll put Dino. If Dino signs Royce Hunt, we'll put Dino up the top of the tiers next month.
I think it was such a bad idea. Well, actually, with the bloody Sharks League, Dino might be bottom of the tiers. I thought Jack Williams was better on fewer minutes and gave us better impact. Yeah, I just think not asking too much of him seems to be a little bit better, I think. All right, what else have I got for you in terms of questions? All right, now, is that an asterisk win or have we just beaten a good team, lads?
Why would that be an asterisk win? Because of Reece Walsh.
They were missing Reece Walsh and Adam Reynolds. And the post
we're missing Nico Hines.
Yep. So
that's not an asterisk win. They had plenty of players come back from Origin and back up, and they got through it unscathed. They also had Katoni Staggs come back this week. Definitely not an asterisk win. I think, as good a win as you get.
Sharks go top. Again.
Again.
I tell you what else I thought was fun. You've clearly seen the development of Toby Rudolph as a media personality. So you saw the quiet nature of Sifa Talakai being interviewed, Royce Hunt being a bit more raw, whereas Toby Rudolph is, just clearly kind of on top of it and knows his role in the media, and I thought spoke really well. What did you make of him giving Kiri a hard time? Did you see that, lads?
Yeah, I did. I thought that was good. I love watching Toby get interviewed. He's pulled it back a bit after that sanction he had put on him from the NRL for the picking up something at Northies or whatever it was.
Picking up something, anything.
Yeah. He knows how to. He'd be a good media personality. I think he'd have a good career in the media at the post-career.
Just kind of entertaining. And then Talakai was given Kiri a hard time as well.
Yeah, Talakai was, and Cooper Cronk was also.
Basically Kiri's just copping shit. Copping stick. I tell you what,
probably because he won't remember it tomorrow with all those head knocks.
Yeah, that's true. Now, there he is. Yeah, Chris Kelly's called out Kiri for the strip no call in the semis. Yeah, that's true. That was certainly Now, AFB also scored again this week and had quite a big game. If we could get,
I told Jakey he'd score.
If we could get,
they're not going to let him go early
now. But if we could get him, goodness me, that would basically be the difference, wouldn't it?
That'd be huge. What are you thinking? A Royce Hunt swap, straight swap?
Oh, I just think maybe we can, just try and maneuver the salary cap a little bit NFL style and pay some guys back end some contracts a little bit. I just think if we had Fanua Blake, that might shore up the strength of the forwards a little bit more and give us a stronger chance.
Mate, it'd be huge. Would be huge.
And then other than that, Meninga talked up the intent of the backs and turning up. Which was also true. All right, well, they're my key notes.
I actually thought Ronnie was good in defence tonight. He jammed up when he had to, shut Mam down plenty of times. I thought he picked his moments well in defence.
Yeah, pretty much all had good games all around, really, didn't they?
Oh, yeah.
Like the Broncos tries were fortunate. The first Broncos try was off a fortunate penalty and that held call, and the second one was the kick. So you could argue that really they weren't looking like scoring.
They didn't deserve to score either of those.
Maybe the score lines actually flattered them all along.
Yep.
All right. Well, look, that's the we're going to get to talking about our man of the match in a minute. So anyone in the comments, get your man of the match commentaries into the chat. How are we feeling about Origin now, lads?
I'll have to see Nico
play. Picked?
I don't think you can drop him based on a performance where we were down a man for 70 minutes of football. He didn't look very threatening with the ball, but we were on the back foot that whole game. I thought we stayed
hammered in the socials, though, didn't he?
Oh, absolutely. Did he? He was a scapegoat. Hammered. He was a scapegoat, mate. He's always going to be. But wasn't Fittler happy? How happy was Brad Fittler?
Who enjoyed of all the New South Wales people? Who enjoyed that match the most? No one. In fact, no New South Wales person has enjoyed an Origin match as much as Brad Fittler, unless it was Laurie Daly 4 years earlier when Brad Fittler lost.
Yeah, mate. Look, he was always going to be made the scapegoat. Like we called it in the chat, our personal group chat before the game. I just hope he comes out with a point to prove. It didn't shatter his confidence like last year. Look, I didn't think he was horrid in Origin. I thought he was okay, but he just he wasn't threatening.
One kick for the try, didn't he?
Yeah, yep. He had that one kick for the try, and look, we kept them to 20 for quite some time there, and sort of made a bit of a game out of it. But we were never going to win it. I'll tell you, I'm glad I didn't buy tickets and go to it because I
got offered free tickets and I chose not to go. Yeah. I just thought it was
just deflated the whole game, didn't it? When he got sent off. Look, he had to be sent off.
It had to be sent off.
And then it was a send off. You can't not.
Well, the thing is, you've got to have a deterrent for hitting people in the head like that. And people say, "I was slipping and all this sort of stuff."
There was no intent. You got it wrong.
Well, you've got to have a duty of care to your fellow players. And he hit him in the head and knocked him out. And so you can say, that ruined the spectacle of the match. I'm like, well, if the punishment doesn't ruin the spectacle of the match, then people go out and do it. So I think it had to be a send-off.
Right. Yeah, 100%. You can't officiate that all year and then not do it for Origin. It's just hypocritical.
I have grave concerns for Michael Maguire as a coach for the New South Wales team.
How long has he got? Does he only have the 1 year or has he got 2?
Well, I think he's got 2, but he might bounce out.
See, I think he might pick Nico again just because I don't think he's, under that much scrutiny, to be honest. Like, he's not going to be stacked on that game with Suwali getting sent off. I think you roll the dice with Nico and show your confidence.
Tough. I think also Maguire doesn't want to be known as one of those coaches that...
No. And that's our problem there with New South Wales. There's no culture. We're too reactive. We drop guys. We don't harvest that culture that Queensland do. So I don't know.
But Moses is better than Nico.
Look,
unfortunately, he's got
a better kicking game.
Better kicker and
he's more of an Origin style player, isn't he?
He is. I would put Talakai into that New South Wales team. I think that
100%.
That would.
And
make
I'd drop Olakau'atu and bring Talakai in. I called Talakai should have been in for Leniu prior to the match, but Leniu was a beast. He's done his time, I guess. It's just you couldn't leave Leniu out, and I didn't think Olakau'atu was very effective.
No, he didn't do anything. All right, well, that's probably enough Origin chat as we've got our first time caller through. Nathan, have we met this guy before? Oh, we'll bring him in. Mate, how you doing?
Hey guys.
Hello, legend.
How you doing?
What'd you make of that match, buddy?
Oh, we needed that one. I was very happy with that performance. Definitely not an asterisk win. So
100%.
We're taking that one.
Who do you think stood out?
I think Kennedy did. Those bombs that they were sending his way. I was watching each one thinking, good luck with that one. It's not lucky you're not me.
Wobblers, spiralers.
Serious bombs, weren't
they? Yeah. Nearly bringing down the rain. Probably the next one after, Royce Hunt, if we get him out of a match for a bench performance. Like that was he just turned the tide for us. But
he was a monster.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Absolute monster.
He was an absolute monster tonight, wasn't he? And then what did you make of the of our Origin chat just now, Nathan? Do you think we're on the money with what's going to happen with Nico?
I think if Moses has lights out this Monday, he's pretty much there. Moses will be there. Sorry, bring my partner.
Yeah.
Nico. I think Nico's just love him, but he's just not Origin material.
He's good.
He's good. But
Yeah.
he's not great.
He's good. Yeah. My brother likened Nico to Cliff Lyons. Very good NRL first grade level player. Can have a brilliant career and set up a whole bunch of tries. But when you get him into the rep teams, I know Cliff Lyons had that one moment in 1990 with the length of the field try and setting that up. But beyond that, he never really made it in the Origin space. And so I worry that for Nico.
But you have to be that Origin style player with that mongrel in you, and I just don't think he's got that mongrel in him.
I don't think he's skillful enough compared to the other guys, is he, Nathan?
He lacks that killer instinct, if you want to call it that. Like, he's that confidence guy where he knows I'm going to beat you, and you can't do anything about it. Yeah,
that killer blow.
He doesn't have that killer blow. He just doesn't have that in him.
Or that moment where he can just, charge at the line or kind of set up like his passing's solid, but it's not brilliant.
Well, even if he had Cleary or Moses in there during the game with 12 men down, they were never going to salvage.
They weren't. That's true.
No.
Yeah. So I think Nico's just going to get the short end of the stick and
get dumped.
That's it. That's it. Yeah.
Would you put Talakai in? Bench?
Probably bench, but I don't know. Probably that memories of the one from a couple of years ago, and he was there and just sort of got left wondering. And
that's
he's a different player though now, isn't he?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he's different.
Is he? He's had. See, he even paid himself out on last year's performance. Actually,
he's not that different.
I don't know if you saw that.
Awesome.
I didn't think he was that bad last year, but just in defence there. But I think he'll. I think Talakai would go good this time around.
We'll see what happens with that players. All right, Nathan. And then before I ask you about your man of the match, and you can think about that in the back of your mind, how many matches do the Sharks win now in a row? I mean, it's a soft draw. I think we can go on a run again. I reckon we're going to.
I'm just going to say all of them.
I was looking at it. It's conceivable we could win until the Manly match.
Yeah. So we got Dolphins on Thursday night.
Dolphins on Thursday.
Short turnaround.
Ooh, yeah, I think Dolphins haven't beaten a top 8 team yet, so we're a chance. Then we got the bye.
Then we got the bye. Then we got a few win week teams.
I can at least 5 at the top of my head.
Tomo's just coming
famous
through.
Famous last words. Yeah.
Don't talk steak.
Don't talk steak. I would love a steak or streak, Tomo. Don't talk.
Don't talk streak.
I reckon I'm not going to talk streak. Look, it's a nice win. I did say that the Sharks will beat the Dolphins this week as well. So I think we'll be able to do that at Shark Park on Thursday night. All right, Nathan, give us your 3-2-1. Who was your man of the match and who else performed well?
I give 3 to Kennedy, 2 to Hunt, and probably 1 to Ero. And probably honorable mention to Ronnie. Just giving that winger an absolute godful, which was good.
Mariner. Yeah, he
that was
wasn't
good.
That's it. Yeah,
That was good. That was good fun at the end. You going to go to the match on Thursday, Nathan?
I will be there.
All right. Well, if you do see us, come say good day.
Yeah, I'm in the upper ET, so I'll probably above you guys.
You probably pour a schooner on us.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're lower ET, so we sit right behind the Sharks bench.
On the drip line.
On the drip line. On the drip
Okay.
line. Oh, the drip line is absolutely the worst. All right, sounds good. All right, Nathan, well, good to have you in the show, mate. Always a pleasure having you coming in. You're an absolute legend and a gentleman.
Thanks,
so,
See you,
heard it here first. Nathan thinks that Kennedy is the man of the match. So we'll talk to other people and work that out. All right, mate. See you soon.
Good night, guys.
See you, mate.
All right. Well, other comments. SJD, well, you deserve a steak meat. So I feel like a Porterhouse all of a sudden. And Tomo called out that Will Kennedy was safe.
A Monty Porterhouse.
Yeah,
or Scotty Porterhouse.
How good was it in that old Shark League? So we had the ET bone and the McKenna burger and all that stuff. And then in terms of other man of the match comments, via Jake, we've got Andrew Petty reckons Braden Trindle was the man of the match.
Petty.
Jake saying that Kennedy was the man of the match. Chris Kelly is agreeing that Kennedy was the man of the match. SJD's calling that Hazelwood to the bench was certainly going to work, with Tomo supporting him there, saying need to rotate the bench as per opposition. Lats, who were your 3-2-1s?
Mate, I'm going to go with Siffer as my 3.
Yeah,
I thought Talakai was very strong. Love seeing him on that left edge there, creating opportunities and scoring. 2, I'm going to go with Royce Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 is a tie between Brayley and Kennedy. I thought Brayley was really good there. Eyes up.
Is that a new thing you can
markers
do?
Snapping.
You can make ties, can't you? Is that a thing we can do?
Yeah, well, there, 0.5 each.
So basically, you're cutting it in half.
It's a draw, cut in half. Just
It's cut in half.
you know all about that.
Oh, fair enough. All right. Well, I'm going to say I thought in terms of role in the team and the impact, I'm going to say 3 points to Royce Hunt. I thought he was an absolute beast tonight and literally changed the game. Like, how can you not give it to someone that comes on, turns the game? Like, every run
that
was
impact.
just absolute massive impact, and all the tries were off, crazy runs from him. So I think he's my 3. I thought Talakai in the 80 minutes, I just think you just can't not pay him for 80. And then my 1 point, I thought Blake Brayley was really good and was running it and showed intent. And that pass that he put to Trindle was just absolutely wicked pass in terms of how quickly that spread out wide.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go 1 point for Brayley. Our man SJD is saying 3 points for Talakai, 2 points for Hunt, 1 point for Katoa. There was a lot
Katoa
tonight.
was good.
And yeah, Jake, I was going to get home to watch the replay. Yeah, you are going to enjoy that, aren't you, Jakey? How good is watching the Sharks kind of replay or watching a great Sharks win? For anyone who doesn't know, we made Lats rewatch the Sharks versus Dragons 1999 match 3 times. Twice. It's absolutely brutal doing that to anyone.
Still having nightmares, mate. Appreciate that.
Fair enough. All right, well, then look at the week ahead. You've got my tip. I'm tipping the Sharks to beat the Dolphins. Lats?
Yeah, mate. Sharks by 30.
All right, sounds good. Anything else you want to add, Mr. Latino, before we jump off the air in an appropriately lengthed ET Stand debrief podcast? I'm looking at you, Franco. Just because the Sharks have a great win doesn't mean we have to talk for 180 minutes.
It's been no ranting. It's a half-length show, half-length program. That's why we've had so many people stick around. Yeah, mate, it's just a good performance right across the park. I really enjoyed that one. I thought we were in that second half there. We were going to go on and like we did in that Canberra game that we came back from that deficit we were 18-0 down and just ran with it. But just through a few errors, crept into the game and we weren't able to do that. But good to see. I thought Fitzy's halftime speech was brilliant. Not that I know what it was, but whatever he did worked.
Well, he's a bit more composed, Fitzy, wasn't he? So I noticed at halftime, you saw Walters like,
yeah,
and then you see Fitzy just kind of.
He's patient, isn't he?
He's just sitting there, chilled out in his little
has
Sharks hoodie, and
the belief in the team.
Just talking to him. Well, I think actually maybe breaking it down, their tries were fortunate, and so Fitzy just knew that. So
yeah, we could have held them to donuts if a few little things went our way. So
good for you, Fitzgibbon. I've never doubted you, Craig Fitzgibbon, as a coach. I've always thought you were a good rugby league player. I always admired you when you played for the Roosters, and I'm so pleased.
You never yelled abuse?
I never yelled abuse at him.
You're actually talking his old man up the other day on the phone.
I was. He was a good coach. He was a very good coach. SJD's come through and he's changed to Iro instead of Katoa. I thought KL Iro did have a good game, actually.
He was strong. Because he had a 4-1 last week and he hit back.
He answered the doubters, that's for sure. All right, Lats, well, I think we're going to leave it there as this episode of the debrief. It was the Sharks 22 beating the Broncos 12 up there at Suncorp Stadium for the Sharks to go top of the table. If the Storm win by 10 points, is it?
We're five in front of them. Five differentials in front. We were 5 behind, and our 10-point win tonight put us 5 in front.
See, they should have taken the 2 that other week. Then it would have been 7.
Could have taken the 2 at the end tonight too, couldn't we?
Yeah, that was a little bit further out. They probably should have done that as well,
but then they realised they had Trindle kicking, so they didn't. That's
true, and he wasn't going to do anything. All right, so in terms of coming up in the ET stand, we've got coming up. We'll have a classic Cronulla Chronicles. Now the Sharks have never beaten the Dolphins, so have we? No, I don't think we beat the Dolphins. So I don't know what. So I think we're going to have to do a classic Cronulla.
They got us in Magic Round, I think, last year.
Yeah, they did. So we've got to. We've got to find.
Maybe we can do it against when we've beaten Wayne Bennett as a coach.
I think we're going to do it against the South Queensland Crushers or the new Gold Coast Tweed Heads team, or like the Perth Reds or something like that. I think is the match that we're going to go and find. And I'm going to volunteer Chris Kelly to do that one because he's been absent lately. Bugger him. Going to too many concerts. So we're going to have we'll have a classic Cronulla Chronicle. We'll have the Tuesday night show, and then we'll have a debrief on Thursday. So it'll be jam-packed week for us. So yeah, keep an eye out for videos that are coming up. And last comments that are coming through. Jakey says, "Brilliant work, lads. I'll ring in when I can. That'll be good fun." And then SJD agreeing with me, which is rare for SJD to agree with anything that I say. He's not taking the 2 at the end was the dumbest thing ever. I think not tipping the Sharks this week was the dumbest thing ever for me, actually, SJD. We should have known. Should have known better. So congratulations to you, Chris Kelly, for catching up a point on everyone in the ETA stand tipping comp, except for Harley, who's now outright leader. And we will see you guys on Tuesday night for the live ET stand show. For me, David Bolderman, and for my legendary Man of the People co-host, Scott Latino. If you've just logged in, hit the like and subscribe button to be notified of our videos, and we will see you on Tuesday night. Up, Cronulla.
For over 50 years, people have come to see the Sharks play. Talent, skill, speed, intelligence, elite-level athleticism. That's not these guys. Biased, one-eyed, opinionated, more often wrong than right. They make up for their complete lack of talent with pure dribble, gibberish, and enthusiasm. This is the ET Stand Podcast.